Mariwa by Indian Ocean. Here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report, I'm Amy Goodman. From the ongoing fight against water privatization, we turn now to a leading voice against the displacement, environmental destruction caused by dams. Medha Patkar is one of India's best-known and best-loved social activists. She's the iconic founder of the Save the Narmada Movement and the National Alliance of People's Movements. Medha Patkar has led the nonviolent struggle against the Sardar Sarovar Dam project over the Narmada River for more than 2 decades and continues to fight for the rights of some 300,000 people, those already made homeless and those facing displacement by the dam. Medha Patkar has organized several mass rallies, demonstrations, hunger strikes, survived numerous jail terms and police violence, won many important victories. She's worked with both the urban and rural poor, insisting on their right to life, livelihood, and access to natural resources, and calling for alternative and just visions of development. She served on the World Commission on Dams, received several awards, including the Right Livelihood Award, the Goldman Environmental Prize, and the BBC's Green Ribbon Award for the Best International Political Campaigner, also the Human Rights Defenders Award from Amnesty International. Medha Patkar is in the United States for a short visit and delivered the Sheth Foundation Endowed Lecture at Emory University in Atlanta last night, titled People's Movements, the State and Civil Society. She'll be speaking at MIT in Cambridge later today, and so she joins us now from Boston. Welcome to Democracy Now! World Traveler, Medha Patkar.
Thank you.
It's good to have you with us. Can you start off, since we were talking with Paul Krugman about the global economic meltdown, about the effect you feel in India and in working with people's movements around the world of this massive economic global crisis?
On one hand, no doubt it's taking away the jobs in India because, unfortunately, the Indian economy is linked with the global markets and money coming from the foreign centers and the lenders more than what should be necessary for the Indian economy. And hence, this globalization is inevitably having an impact of whatever happens out and away from India. But on the other hand, if it really cuts down the outsourcing from the countries such as yours, we would be more than happy. Although the immediate impacts would be negative, I think the long-term impact would be coming out with our own indigenous and self-reliant alternatives, which would not be market-based as much as would be the natural and the human resource-based. So one has to still wait and watch, because with the Obama's risks taken in economy and polity over here, what are the not just United States but also the Western inputs in the context of this meltdown is also yet to be seen.
Can you talk about the state of the water movement in India, the state of the Save Narmada movement, and for a global audience, even where is Narmada and what this movement is all about?
Oh, the Narmada movement is still on, and now it is spread to at least 9 large dams out of 30 large dams in the one single river valley of Narmada. This is the most ancient of the civilizations in the world, even older than the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, as is known to the prehistory branch of archaeology now. It was the birthplace of the first human being and also the first farmer in Asia. The Sardar Sarovar Dam, which is being fought against because there is no rehabilitation, because there is no compliance on the environmental compensatory measures, and because the economics and the benefits that were claimed and promised have been turned topsy-turvy, is the dam where the fight is still on. Being in the state of Gujarat, the dam remains stopped for the last 2 years. Although the wall as high as 122 meters is built, the 17 meters high radial gates are not permitted to be placed. And that's because not less than 200,000 people are in the submergence area. And whether the water will be filled which is the submergence that would grope in not less than 100,000 people at the present height itself, and that can happen in the upcoming monsoon as well. But that decision is going to be the political and economic decision, because now the cost is 10 times the original estimate. It is 45,000 crores rupees, as the Planning Commission now agrees with us after 25 full years. And there are no backwater levels yet finalized, as is now accepted. And there are hundreds of crores of rupees corruption in the rehabilitation which we have dug out. And the land is not coming forward to be offered by the governments, especially one of the governments, Madhya Pradesh, where the largest of the submergence is to take place. And there are indigenous people who have already lost land, but there are thickly populated communities, rural and urban both, which are yet to be drowned. And we want that land, the prime best agricultural, horticultural region, to be saved, along with the culture, along with the valley. And the other dams which are completed are also stayed, because the water is not allowed to be filled by the High Court in India. While in Sardar Sarovar, even the benefits are exposed. The drought-affected region, in whose name the dam was to be built, are not getting enough water. They are also going to the courts to get their share, and instead the bottling water plant is permitted in the state of Gujarat, which has drought on one hand and the largest number of water parks on the other. The canals are breaching, and there is no equitable distribution of water even in the command area. And the environmental compliance lacking. The Ministry of Environment has expert committee to review all the measures since 1979 till 2009, and the compliance is not proved. The non-compliance is reported by the expert committee. So the dam remains stopped, and the fight goes on with the struggle on one hand, the reconstruction with the alternative ways of land, water and power harnessing that is on in the Narmada Valley.
Can you talk about what inspired you to really be the mother of this movement, to take on not only the Indian government, you took on the World Bank that was in support of this dam until they were forced to back out, to back down, and what it means to drown the communities of central India as the dam, as the water flows west in western India?
You see, it's not just the Narmada Dam that matters to us. What matters to us is the people, the human resource, the human living communities, and also the natural resources. And when the activists, not just me, but all my colleagues together, and the people themselves from the indigenous communities, the farmers, the fish workers, the potters, and all those who form the populations in Narmada and every single river valley in a country like India, is that these resources should be harnessed equitably and justly, not only sustainably. And for that, it is necessary that the communities really plan the harnessing of their own resources. They should be given the riparian rights to the resources and also to the development planning processes. Instead, when the centers, whether within India or outside India, such as the World Bank, the Asia Development Bank, the bilaterals such as the USAID, the KFW and whatnot, OECD of Japan, which is now ODA, all of them come in with their money and their market interests and, somewhere apparently state that this is joining the borrower country in achieving the public purpose, but in reality achieve the private purpose of their firms, their lending, their investments, then the investment of the land, water, forests, of the minerals and the groundwater underneath, and of the human power itself by the communities in this so-called borrower country is always ignored, bypassed, and not even properly valued, and rather is destroyed for the private profits rather than serving the public purpose. So if the public purpose is really satiating thirst of every single human being, the citizen of India, and if it is to take the waters to the drought affected area, even for one single crop protection granted to and guaranteed to every farmer, and a new alternative development paradigm is necessary.